How's it going, guys? This is Eric with Deranged Survival, and today, hiking in the woods again. Bet you would have never guessed. So I'm actually going to start a new series. It's going to be called a Deranged Chat, or maybe just Deranged Chat. And it's basically going to be me talking about my ideas and opinions. It's not necessarily going to be about nature and the outdoors and bushcraft and survival. It might be on other topics about everyday life and maybe politics. We'll see, maybe not. I know that's a hostile subject for some. And it's basically just going to be a way for me to express my opinions and feelings and thoughts on different matters that go on in my life, everyday life, and my outdoor life, and stuff of that nature. So the reason I'm doing this is I basically want to express different ideas and thoughts that I have and get other people's opinions. Hoping that we can try to keep it as civilized as possible. I know a lot of different subjects are, people have a lot of strong beliefs on different subjects, and that's okay, nothing wrong with that. The goal is just to be civilized and have an open communication with one another, and hopefully we can learn something from one another. There's no reason to be hostile. If you don't agree with something I say, just say you don't agree and then voice your opinion. Very simple. We can have a mature, adult conversation, even though most times I don't act like an adult, but I am one, unfortunately. And that's the goal. New series. We'll see how it works. It'll probably be me hiking around, talking like this, like I'm doing now, or maybe sitting by a fire at night if I'm out camping or something along those lines. So we'll start the first episode. So let's see, what do we want to talk about? So I want to start doing more challenges. I actually did the dollar store survival challenge. If you're not familiar with that, I have a video somewhere in my library. You can check that out. And you basically buy 10 items from the dollar store and camp out in the woods overnight. It was pretty fun. It actually snowed. It actually snowed and rained a little bit on my adventure, so that was cool. It was actually in these woods here. And that's what I want to start doing, more challenges, more reasons to get out in the woods and practice your skills, and hopefully see other people do the same challenge so we can get ideas from each other on different methods of doing things and hopefully learn from one another. That's the whole reason I make these videos, is to learn from one another. And a lot of my videos about my learning experience. I just started an learning archery series that I'm going to put together about learning how to, shoot bows. I bought a takedown recurve bow, I believe that's what it's called, and I just bought the bow, bought some cheap arrows, and started shooting targets. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. That's how you start. That's how you learn. A lot of people, they have this big fear of they don't know what's going on, or they don't understand the terminology, or they're too afraid to get into it because they don't want to look like a dummy or a beginner. But you got to start somewhere, right? A lot of my let me talk about how I started getting into the outdoors and camping and stuff like that. One day, when I was younger, used to sit at home, play video games all the time. And one day, I don't remember exactly what caused me to do it, but one day I just decided I'm going to go camping by myself in the woods. And I'm going to do it. And maybe I played it, or I put it aside for a month or two. And one day I just said, you know what? Today's the day. I'm going to do it. So I got my school backpack that I used to bring to high school, and that I used to load up with books and bring to school. And I packed some gear in there. I don't know, rope, a can of soup, a small little pocket knife that I had, and my sleeping bag and tent didn't even fit in the backpack, so I had to carry that with one with my left hand, one with my right hand. I probably had like a 10-pound tent, 6-person tent, carrying that through the woods. Like a quarter of a mile in, I was exhausted. But it all stems down to that you have to have that little bit of ambition to do it. Just keep that thought in your head, write it down, print out a picture of something and stick it on your wall so you see it every day. Something to spark that memory again, and spark that interest, and spark that ambition to get you to do things. And I took the backpack, loaded it up with a bunch of random stuff. Honestly, I don't even remember. It was probably just random tools I found in the shed or something. And I carried my tent, my sleeping bag, and I just walked into the woods. and I set up my tent. It probably took me like 3 hours because I had no idea what I was doing. Finally got the tent set up, and didn't bring anything to start a fire, I don't think. Well, maybe I brought matches. Yeah, I think I brought matches, and it took me forever to get the fire going. I had no idea what I was doing. I'm throwing leaves on, and there's smoke everywhere. I don't know what was going on. But you have to start somewhere. You can't just want to do something and expect to be the expert the next day. You can't do that. If you want to learn about something, if you want to be passionate about something, if you want to become not necessarily an expert but advanced in that skill, you have to practice every day if you can. Every day, every chance you get out in the woods and experience. That's all it takes. And you have to have an idea of what you want to learn. You know, most of the times when I come out hiking, it's more to practice survival skills. But now, I want to learn about all these plants. They're everywhere. These birds are screaming at me all day long. I don't even know where they are, but they're there. You hear them? I hear them. And you just gotta have a drive. Something to make you go forward. Because sometimes we can get stuck in life and repeat the same things over and over. You go to work, you go home, sit down on the couch, drink a beer, watch TV, go to bed, wake up, do the same thing. It gets boring after a while. Drives me nuts. Sometimes you just gotta change it up, and sometimes it's a spur of the moment. Sometimes you're sitting there scrolling through Facebook and you're like, screw this is boring, I'm going in the woods. You just grab a backpack, throw a couple things in there, throw a can of soup, throw whatever, and just go. That's all it takes. And the best part about YouTube is I get to record those adventures. And not only am I sharing it with the world pretty much, I'm sharing it again and again and again with myself. And I get to review the mistakes that I made and see the difference in the change that has happened to me throughout my outdoor experience life. I don't know what you want to call it. But where am I going here? I don't know, we'll keep going. But you just gotta have a drive. So I had a drive today. What I did was, I have a notebook I keep on my desk. I usually write everything in pencil. I don't like pen for some reason. And just write down ideas, different videos I want to do, different things I want to research, different places I want to go, trails I want to visit, stuff like that. And every once in a while I'll flip back on the pages and review my notes. I'll say, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to do this today. I don't have nothing to do. I'm going to do this. So I woke up today, 7 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning, 7 o'clock. And got out of bed, had breakfast, had a cup of tea. And I could have just sat around the house and did nothing. But I decided, I'm going to grab my camera, grab some gear, go in the woods. So today I'm going to do, I forget what it's called. I have it written down. It's always good to write stuff down because bad memory. This guy, bad memory. But I basically have to harness the piece of rope X amount of inches off the ground and get a fire going and have the rope melt in half or break from burning from the fire. And that's a challenge. I'm going to do the video about it. I don't remember exactly what it is. That's why I write notes, so I can remember what to say when I'm talking to you guys. When I come out in the woods, I already know what I'm going to do. I don't have to say it out loud, but if I have to repeat it to the world, I got to write it down because I've got a bad memory. But that's what I'm doing today. I just woke up and decided to do it. That's it. That's all it takes. Yeah, so the idea of these videos is to basically, express my ideas and thoughts on different things, not necessarily pertaining to bushcraft or the outdoors. A while back, I actually changed my YouTube name to Deranged Survival - and then my actual name, Eric Burgalt. The reason I did that is because I wanted to start making videos like this, where it's not necessarily just about deranged survival. It's more about my lifestyle and how my mind works and why I called it Deranged Survival. Hey, ducks. Couple ducks flying overhead. This is actually a dirt road. There's a pipeline underneath, as you can see those things there. Alright, distraction. That's why I like nature. You can just be walking along and all of a sudden, turkey, duck, alligator. No, just kidding. No alligators here. What was I saying? This happens a lot. Where am I going? I'm going back here. Yeah. So the reason I want to make these videos is to to connect more with people on different ideas and subjects that are not necessarily pertaining to the outdoors and nature, although the majority of it is going to be about that. Not really big into politics, although it's very good to be knowledgeable on the subject because it does affect your everyday life. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to be involved or not, it affects you. It's good to know what's happening in your town or your city, who your mayor is or governor is, just to every once in a while Google their name and see what they're doing. A lot of people don't realize that you can actually impact what happens in your town or city. Really, you can. Especially us making YouTube videos, we have the ability to voice our opinion and basically share that with everybody in our neighborhood or our town or our city or our state. Spit on the camera there. If, some way, somehow you voice your opinion and that video makes it to the news, boom! Everybody knows who you are, everybody knows your opinion, and you affect hundreds and thousands of people probably. If they agree with your opinion or don't agree, you still affect them. So we as YouTubers have a huge impact on not only the people around us, our friends and family who watch our videos, people all over the world, but we have a powerful skill here. We can voice our opinion, share our opinions, and display messages and things we're passionate about, and get people to be motivated about certain things. And that's kind of really what I want to start doing more often. I started a cleanup Facebook page in my local area, and I basically made a video, went on Facebook and posted it on all the Facebook pages that had the city name on it, gathered up a bunch of people. I had 50, 60 people one day show up at a park. We cleaned the park in less than an hour. I had like 3 truckloads of trash in less than an hour, and all it took me was 5-10 minutes to make the video, maybe another 30 minutes to edit it, and then another 20-30 minutes online just posting the video on different Facebook pages. That's all it took, and I cleaned an entire park in 1 hour. How crazy is that? If you set your mind to something, anything is possible. And I'm getting lost. I'm setting my mind to you guys as I get lost. I think I know where I am. Hopefully there's a drop in elevation over here. But a lot of people get stuck in the rut and repeat the same process over and over. They eat, sleep, go to work, pay bills. Eat, sleep, go to work, pay bills. It gets boring. You gotta do something. Spice up your life. Look for events in your area. Google events and then put your city name. See what comes up. If you're not into hiking in the outdoors or survival and stuff like that, that's okay. Find other things to do. And not everything costs money. Especially hiking and camping. It doesn't cost money. It may cost money for the gear, but you can go buy a $5 tarp and a $2 knife and start there and practice. And if you're passionate about it, you'll save up the money to buy better gear and have a different experience in the woods. It all depends on your goal or your desire, your drive, your ambition. You have to stay focused. A lot of people get lost. I know my beginning stages of hiking, when I used to just go hike and take pictures, had nothing to do with YouTube. Most of the time I would hike and I'd just be lost in my head. Thinking about a million different things. And then I pop up back into reality. I'm like, whoa, where am I? Oh, look at that bird. Wow, it's so quiet over here. Oh, look, a stone wall. And sometimes you have to get out of your head and just experience life. I think that's another big problem people have. We're just jumping all over the place. That's what a chat is, right? That's what a chat is. You just jump all over the place. But another thing I don't like that people do, and everybody is their own person, nothing wrong with that, but this is just my opinion on the matter. And feel free at any point during this video, just pause the video and comment below and tell me your opinion on what I'm talking about. because this video jumps all over the place. By the time you get to the end of the video, you'll probably forget what you thought about in the beginning of the video. So at any point, just pause the video, comment below. If you can, do it on YouTube. I definitely respond to all the comments on YouTube. And voice your opinion. Tell me your ideas on the matter I'm talking about. Because that's why I want to make these videos, is to have a discussion with anybody across the world, whoever sees the video. So another thing that people do that I don't necessarily like is they assume how other people feel. Now let's say that over. They assume how other people feel. So we'll say, this is just an example, it's not something that happened, or I'm just making it up. So say I want to surprise my girlfriend with something, and I go and buy flowers and put it on the table, and when she comes home from work, she sees it. Now I'm going to assume that she's going to be appreciative and say, thank you, oh, this is awesome, I appreciate it, blah, 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 blah. And what you should do, you shouldn't assume her response. You should just take the action and see what happens and accept it, no matter what it is. Even if she doesn't show the appreciation for it, or she's still upset or something along those lines, you know, you move on to something else. You can't assume how people are going to react or how people are going to feel, because then it really messes up your train of thought and your way of thinking when you do that. You just have to experience it. Don't assume how she's going to react. Just experience it and then go from there. I feel like I do it a lot too. A lot of people like have conversations in their head. Okay, I'm going to do this, and then this person's going to say that, and then I'm going to say this, and this person's going to say that, and they just have a conversation in their head, and they say, okay, well, that conversation's not going to work. Let me try another conversation in my head. Does that make sense? I don't know. I do that sometimes. All right, where am I? I don't know. We're just going to keep walking. So, try not to assume how people feel, or what people feel, or how they're going to react to certain things. Just experience it and see what happens. And another thing with giving, whenever you give something to somebody, or you offer something to somebody out of the kindness of your heart, you can't always respect, you know, that in retaliation, because some people, either they're not in the right mental mind state to accept what you're giving them, or some people aren't appreciative, or some people don't know how to express appreciation. And you can't just, by giving somebody something, you can't expect a response. You can't expect a reward, because that defeats the purpose of giving. You give because you want to give and help, not to receive a reward. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. It's just my rational or unrational thoughts on it. So why am I out here today? I'm looking for my shelter that I built. I don't know where it is. Okay, let's change the subject. Outdoor stuff. So what's something you guys want to learn more about pertaining to the outdoors, whether it be knives, shelter building, camping, hiking, kayaking, fishing, anything of that nature. How to climb trees, how to identify trees, how to determine the difference between softwood and hardwood. What's something you guys want to learn more about? Pause the video, comment below, and tell me something you want to learn more about. And maybe it'll give me a couple ideas on different videos to make for you guys. Because I love sharing the knowledge that I have to you guys, and also learning from you guys as well. Most of the times I'll post a video of me, like I did learning archery. Posted a video of me trying to learn archery. I'm like, I don't know anything, I'm a beginner, help me out, what do I do? And I learned so much information just by posting that video and having people comment and me respond, and we have a small conversation. And you just learn so much from communicating and networking with people. So comment below, tell me what you want to learn. So I think that's going to be the end of this little chat. Bunch of rambling on about different things. Hopefully in the future I'll try to keep it a little structured and focused on certain things. It's always good to keep, well, for me anyways, it's always good to keep things in structure or in format, just so it's easy to follow. And when you talk about a bunch of random different things and bounce around, it kind of tends to steer people away, or people lose interest and stuff of that nature. It's just my opinion. I don't know if that actually happens, but it's just my opinion. So, that's the end of the chat. Please comment below. Tell me your thoughts and opinions. I know there's a bunch of rambling on and sometimes it's boring. I'd recommend probably listening to this in the car, kind of like a podcast thing. Not necessarily watch the video, because I'm just walking around not really showing you guys things. It's more of me talking. So probably listen to it if you're, get home making dinner or something. Just let it play and just listen. That's the reason for these chats. We'll see how they work out. If it's good, if it's bad, let me know. Comment below, and I'll see you on the next one. Yeah!